How much gold I'm sitting on right now. I've got some crazy content on it. And that I've got arrested in Mexico once. Till date, I kind of still don't know if what I'm feeling is anxiety या मैंने चाय पी ली उससे एसिडिटी हो रही है. भाई मुझे तो एंजाइटी के बारे में मालूम ही नहीं था for the longest time. What do you call keyboard warriors who think they're educated enough, who think they've seen it all. They've never probably had really anxiety in their life. You know, feminism after a while became very toxic. Nobody's now talking about equality at work. You know, I believe in energies, I believe in chakras, all right. Walking barefoot on grass and on sand and beaches in jungle is my therapy. Is that okay to say? But are we now getting too soft even after knowing the memo? Are we taking an offense to everything is my question. And historically, you're supposed to say the most offensive thing after saying no offense. Let's start this podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome to Decoding Quirks. Today we have a really special guest whose voice everyone has heard, and his travel videos make us so jealous. Can't wait to have a decoding session with Parikshit.
I think I'm going to be diagnosed with ADHD today.
I am not diagnosing anything, but yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, let's go. One thing I really want to know if I have ADHD.
So I'm a mental health coach now.
Okay.
I went into this like 8 years ago, but I was always in therapy since I was 21.
Okay, tell me genuinely at 21, what were you feeling? This is now your studies and your emotional intelligence and your EQ coming in, right?
Yeah.
But at that time,
I felt fucked up.
Right?
I felt
That's my
really
question.
fucked up.
That's my question.
I was like, I'm doing everything. Nothing is lasting. No joy is lasting. Buy a house, buy a car, buy whatever. Nothing is lasting. And traveling.
Where are you from?
Bombay.
Good.
So when I came to Dubai, I was born here, went up and down Bombay, Dubai a lot when I was in school, college, whatever. And then I came here to work. And my first few jobs, I would say the first 6 years of my career has been in travel and tourism.
What do you say?
Exactly. It's been in travel and tourism. So how did it happen? My mum dressed me up as an Emirates air hostess when I was younger.
What?
At the age of 6 in my first grade. I'm telling you.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Emirates has been existing since that long?
Yeah. In fact,
that long?
And in fact, when we were younger and we would be in Bombay, you would have those assisted travels where, the cabin crew would take you and stuff like that. And we didn't have phones. We just hoped that the children would reach the new country. So, I've traveled a lot. I've traveled in Air India where my grandfather used to smoke.
Yeah, I've sat on those plates where they used to have
that
ashtray on the side of the...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you cut to that footage and if you can find that footage, it'll be epic.
100%. Vedant figured it out. I was very into travel, always traveled. And then I came here at 21, I'm like, okay, this is obviously what I'm going to do. And I started traveling, but it didn't give me that joy as I wanted.
Yeah, my question is, how are you looking... Then eventually, what did give you joy? After therapy, what
no, so even, okay, that's a very honest thing.
Correct.
Even with therapy, it initially didn't give me joy because initially it's like I'm only fucked up. Now the problem is in me only. Everyone else is right. Everyone else's opinion doesn't matter. Now I am the problem. Out of all of this, I'm like, I was the one, I'm the good girl. I listened to everyone, I heard everyone, but now I'm the problem.
Are you happy now?
Oh my God.
Very difficult. Are you really?
Yes,
What is it? What
is happiness?
Yeah.
Honestly, I just 2 days ago was trying to define this for someone, and I think I have a good, real answer. Every time, so I know you've lost a lot of weight over the years.
Yeah.
So
that's not the first time. That story, my story aayegi baad mein.
Okay, fine.
Talk to me about
Yeah,
you
so when you're going into physical health, eventually like something like yoga, all you're doing as an adult is trying to go back to doing things that you were doing as a child. Even in your poses.
Tali maar is baat pe. All your everything, and I've been saying this without learning anything about therapy. I've been saying this on all my podcasts. I'm trying to just fulfill the dreams that I dreamt as a child.
Yeah.
Money is just a zariya now.
Yeah, it's just a means to live. So
Correct.
With yoga, you're going to be doing all the poses you did as a child.
Acha.
With mental health, how many times have you heard for anxiety, stay grounded?
Correct.
Pay attention to what's happening in this very moment. When we're doing all of this, we're actually going back to what we did as kids because we were actually just playing. The adults used to tell us like, hurry up, get up for school, hurry up. These are smaller forms of anxiety that has started to see, I'm not saying like adults are wrong, but I'm just like, we were fed this. in our youngest state, we were just enjoying the moment when we were playing cricket, when we were like, shouting at our friends, playing hide and seek. We were enjoying that moment.
भाई मुझे तो एंजाइटी के बारे में मालूम ही नहीं था for the longest time.
I'm sure.
I didn't. So the reason why I asked you where you're from is because you're lucky enough, and I tell you, you're lucky enough to grow up in a city where these conversations have happened when you were 21.
Yeah.
I'm not Jodhpur mein
It's
till
privilege.
date people don't know. It's privilege.
It's privilege.
Till date I kind of still don't know if what I'm feeling is anxiety या मैंने चाय पी ली उससे एसिडिटी हो रही है. This is true.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
I can't define my own feelings, and the biggest complaints my loved ones have and my close people have with me is I don't share my feelings. I can't. That's how you're dealt with since childhood.
But like, do you think you can't because you didn't have the conversations, or you can't because you're a man?
Both.
Yeah. No,
Both.
it's fair. It's fair.
I'm being honest with
Yeah.
you, and I don't know if I'm being very genuine. I don't want people to like now.
Yeah.
A lot of fake intellect happening in this world, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
TikTok
can't.
therapist?
Pseudo intellectualism मुझसे नहीं होता. Talk to me about real stuff, and I'm very real. When you go on those intellect fad kind of conversations, I tune out, bro. I tune out.
Yeah, it has to be real. It has to be real. But like, for me, every conversation now can't be shallow.
That's my point.
Like something, you give me something, little bit.
यार Aditi, problem पता है क्या है? In the age of information now, most of your opinions are borrowed. You don't have your own opinions. Most of your opinions are coming from either someone's. यार एक फिल्म कोई देखता है ना, review देखने के बाद क्यों देखता है?
Yeah.
If you, and I watched this myself, and I proudly say I've never watched a film after reading a review. First, I don't read reviews.
Yeah.
ठीक है?
Okay.
अगर मैं I'll tell you something. You watch a film after reading a review.
Huh.
Every time a reviewer's
bias.
words will run in your head. If it's
100%.
That's my problem.
100%.
You're constantly watching the world with someone else's opinions.
Yeah.
If one comment goes bad in a reel, there are 25 other people who will join in. Nobody will have the balls to say, no, I differ. Because people will troll him. And
Yeah.
borrowed opinions is and even when I talk about mental health, even if I talk about, anything that you're talking about right now, there will be one person in the comments that other people will join in talking about the same thing. Not one opinion is real, yeah.
It's also easier to chime in onto negativity, right?
Positivity bhi hona, so it's just that it's constantly bhedchal. It's constantly borrowed opinions. Your idea of feminism is through someone else. Your idea of mental health is through someone else that you've read about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm very honest, I don't share my feelings because I don't know how to.
No, that's actually very true, because a lot of times people feel like they have, nowadays the trend is attachment style. I don't know if you've heard of it. So it depends the way you love or the way you want to be loved. It depends on your attachment style. So are you an anxious attachment?
Oh.
So now this
Tell
is
me
the
more
trend.
about that. I want to know. See, I want to know. I want to learn.
No, but like this is like the trend. Like if you, someone who is like constantly needy in a relationship, which you must have seen. There are so many relationships that you've seen around you.
Okay.
Maybe one person is very needy. Maybe one person's very detached. So you have a detachment, like an aloof attachment style with that anxious.
Explain. My wife ask me questions and then detach or whatever. Decode my relationship with my wife.
She needs to be there to answer it, because if you are answering it for her, then it's not fair.
Fair enough. Agreed.
So basically now this is the trend right now. So nowadays when people come to me, and especially the Gen Zs, when they come to me, they are aware, like you said. They are getting their knowledge from the internet.
Correct.
They're getting their knowledge from their society or people around.
As long as it's proper knowledge, the good and the bad both.
So I think like sometimes having both is also important, because then you will be able to differ that, oh shit, like I went wrong here. So I'm okay if you have the knowledge. And now with mental health, everyone was constantly like, oh my god, mental health is like, mental health awareness, especially COVID, it became very, very big. Now everyone's aware, and now that's the problem.
A question पूछूं मैं. Is that becoming a crutch? Is that okay? I'll tell you.
Like saying that I have anxiety?
I'm not targeting anxiety.
No.
I'm not looking for any hate, guys.
No.
I want to know, as a guy, you're a millennial yourself?
Yeah.
You're 35?
35.
After a while now, you need to deal with it. Right?
100%.
Is that becoming your crutch? Talking about, okay, am I the bad guy if I'm telling you, okay, you have anxiety? we can do whatever you want, but now it's time to deal with it. Don't make it a crutch or a way out for everything just because you have anxiety. Is that the right thing to say as a therapist?
Okay, so the way I see it, I definitely see people abusing anxiety and abusing
My
their
point.
triggers a lot.
My point.
The reason why they're abusing it is because mental health awareness has grown, so everyone's aware, everyone's emotionally intelligent, but no one's mental health is good. So now they're just using it as as you said, a crutch, or using it as a shield to not do something. But
That's
if
my
the trigger,
point.
if the trigger exists, what are you doing about the trigger? The time you can say that, hey, this triggered me. So say like in a relationship, if your wife is like, listen, this triggered me, it's for you to have that empathy towards like, okay, now that I know that this bothers her, I'm not going to constantly do it.
100%.
Yeah, but if something is bothering her, like, is she also like, is the other person also doing something about it, or are they putting their burden on you and
Yeah, the
expecting
problem
you
is
to
ये जो anxiety, or I'm talking about
anything?
I'm going through it as well, okay?
Fair.
But after that, that becomes gaslighting also.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, after a while, and I'm not talking about a relationship, I'm talking about work colleagues as well,
Yeah.
right? Is that becoming right now? Because I know mental health is such a delicate topic, Aditi.
Yeah.
If you tell me I have anxiety, I won't question it. Okay,
Yeah.
this triggered you, I understand. This triggered you, I am sorry. But everything can't be that, no? Is
Yeah.
it my question?
No, everything can't be that.
You can't you can't find your way out of everything because you have anxiety. Is this when, okay, I'll frame my question better.
Yeah,
Okay, my
yeah.
question is, when do we start questioning or reasoning it?
Yeah.
Right now, abhi na ek itna delicate topic, and also on internet, people kind of stay away from it. Yaar, I know, Aditi.
Yeah.
Yaar, I have anxiety. I have anxiety, and I'm coming from there, right? I'm not going to use it everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the real world, I also need to hide it and move on because I've got work to do.
You got shit to do.
Shit to do. Like, I have to host an event. I'm getting anxiety. I've taken payment for it. I can't go like, oh my god, I have anxiety. I don't expect my clients to understand that.
You know,
Is that do you know where I'm coming from
I
right now?
fully get where you're coming from. It's just that, yes, you have it, but you also have a life.
And you also need to control it.
Yeah, and the world is moving around you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Official,
Yeah.
qualified person saying it, guys.
The world is moving
Right?
around you. But so the thing here is now, what are you doing for your anxiety? How are you managing it? So I don't even like to use the word control, but like you manage it. Even I've sat through so many podcasts where I'm like, arey, fuck, this is like, I fucked it up. Like, I messed it up.
Correct.
And, you know, my mind was somewhere else. I am like zoned out. I am burnt out. Like, but
I've been there.
You have to go back and deal with my burnout and have to accept this situation.
Right.
Accept it. So the word.
वही तो मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ यार. Accept and move on. You can't. You have to move
No,
on.
so I'll tell you where people like you have gotten a bad name. Not you, but people who use your language in a more derogatory way have gotten.
I'm not using it.
Not you. No. I'm just.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I get it. I'm just saying that when other people are like, just move on, they are looked at as the bad person.
That's what my point is.
So why are they looked at as a bad person is because they also expect you to perform immediately, like, you know, to also like bounce back immediately.
I know.
And I think that's where the mistake is happening. It's like, okay, this person has anxiety, this person is burnt out, just give it a bit, like just give it a second.
I'm not talking about
Yeah.
the person. Those are the people who have no education about mental health.
Yeah.
Those are the people who don't believe that mental health and burnout exists. I am that person.
Yeah.
But I'm also being rational right now. I'm also being, okay, can we finally start telling people, okay, we understand, right? We know. But now, do you know how to manage it?
Yeah.
Because the world around you is not going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
It has to be a personal thing. Like if I have a trigger, it can't be your responsibility. The burden can't come onto you to manage my trigger.
And don't make me feel bad.
Don't make the other person feel bad, because then you're abusing mental health.
Thank you. That becomes gaslighting then.
Yes, then it becomes gaslighting. So.
And I'm 100% sure I have high functioning anxiety. I am 100% sure.
I think a lot of us now, with the kind of phone, stimulation, everything.
And the work. I work like 18 hours a day. 4 hours of sleep. And if I don't work, I feel very anxious. And I don't know. This is also a therapy session for me.
Yeah. But that's also because you are like numbing with work, probably.
Yeah. And I want to.
Yeah. Because
if I don't, I feel very anxious.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, right? You are numbing to a point where you're just like, now, if I don't do this, then I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then the questions start to pop up, right? And
Agreed.
If I deal with one, my God, I have to deal with 1,000
Agreed.
in my head. So we rather work. And that's where workaholism becomes such a big thing,
Yeah.
right? Like workaholism is so appreciated in our Desi culture. Like at least you're
It's
working.
toxic. Hustle culture is kind of toxic after a while, but
Like, imagine if the same thing instead of work, I replicated it with alcohol. Wouldn't I get a
same
bad
thing.
name?
Understood. And I'm to agreeing with you, but
Yeah.
I can't. I can't sit idle. Like right now, I could have
It's,
easily be sleeping after 4 hours of sleep in the night,
but
but
you're
I
just like,
can't.
I'll come here.
I can't.
No, but, and doesn't that like scare you, the thought,
I don't
after a
know. I
while?
don't know. I'm looking at financial freedom from. I have a goal.
Yeah.
उसके बाद में बाहर में जाए दुनिया बाहर में जाए काम just sleep right Vedant
Vedant, come on.
बस दोपहर में अपने हिसाब से उठो I want to have those once I get financially freedom not financial freedom I still work when I have financial freedom once I early
But that is
retirement
like your fun work.
Yeah,
It'll be
early
like,
retirement.
I choose the work.
early retirement I'll be that Jumeirah Jain bro wake up at 9 a.m.
You
do
will
my
not know how to
yoga
deal with yourself, bro.
I don't
that
know
time.
we'll
Yeah.
figure it out I go for a coffee go for a walk
That
with my
time you'll
dog
go for therapy.
that time we'll see
It's like now I'm financially free. I have the time to go in for therapy.
early retirement
But I will completely believe that everyone has a time for therapy. There was a time that even I think like maybe
Yeah.
5 years ago would preach it to people, be like, just try, just go.
Yeah.
But now I've changed my opinion. I mean, like, you know what? There is a time. Everyone's, says like everything happens for a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
The universe only gives you so much that you can handle. You've heard these statements.
Tell me one thing. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to the same topic, when you said there's a time for therapy, right?
Yeah.
Why can't more therapists say that? For example, Ranbir Kapoor in a recent interview said therapy didn't work for me. He got a lot of hate for it. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, if it didn't work for him, like for me, I still feel going to a destination
Yeah.
and going in the nature. I believe in energies. I believe in chakras. All right.
Yeah.
Walking barefoot on grass and on sand and beaches in jungle is my therapy.
Yeah.
Is that okay to say?
That is okay to say, but I think what people are confusing it with, and this is something when I truly believe, is that there is no one form.
Thank you.
Talk therapy, which I do.
Thank you. Somebody said it. My point is, why did
Yeah.
Ranbir Kapoor get so much hate?
Because I think he said it. I think the
No,
problem.
I saw the interview.
Even
Lalita.
I saw the interview.
He just said it didn't work for me. People gave him hate on the internet. These are my.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for Vedant gali kaat dena meri. I can't abuse on camera.
Yeah.
But my problem is these are not qualified individuals. These are like, what do you call, keyboard warriors who think they're educated enough, who think they've seen it all. They've never probably had real anxiety in their life, dude.
Yeah. No, but so the thing is that
And these are the pseudo intellectuals I'm talking about.
the borrowed opinions.
And pseudo intellectuals. Oh my God, how could you say that? Because therapy is a conversation that is starting. Yes, but it didn't work for him. He's just sharing his opinion. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I think it
He
is.
tried therapy.
I think it is okay. So
What
I
was the
think
problem?
I think where he came from is, again, this is a problem when you get famous, is also like you are not you anymore. You are the audiences.
Correct.
Now your entire life, your entire opinion, your everything you buy, you own, everything is the audiences, right?
Yeah, but not
everything
your
is the-
opinions, yeah.
Everything
Not your
is the
feelings.
yeah, but that's what confuses people, is like you are at that place to share and educate people, because if you say it now, there are people who get influenced by this. So which is sad. It's a sad truth and sad reality.
Yeah, I understand.
No, even I get it. But I'm
You're
just so it's
watching-
like you and me
yeah.
saying that, oh, chalo, you tried it didn't happen, I tried it happened.
Correct.
For us it's okay. But why is it not okay for him? Is because like it's borrowed and people like literally.
But it's also, he said, okay, I did therapy. It's not, you're just picking up one line and
Yeah,
saying, oh, why
yeah.
you do. He's literally talking about therapy and it's okay. And this is my exact thing.
And he
what I
even
was-
asked, he's like, so when Nikhil said that, oh, I go for therapy, he's like, do you use it as a mental gym? Like he was curious about
And
it.
my point was exactly this. Ke,
Yeah.
bhai, usne batai therapy. He talked about therapy. He's
Yeah.
giving you the other rational side. Ke some people ke liye it will work. It's not a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Some people ke liye it will really work.
Yeah.
Some people ke liye it just won't.
So that's the thing, right? So as you spoke about with modalities,
Yeah.
so you're like, okay, I believe in chakra, I believe in walking in the
Right.
on the grass in the sand.
I'm not saying that is my therapy. I'm saying that's what my school of thought is.
Yeah, so but like you feel better.
Yeah, I
when
feel
you,
better.
when you go for a holiday or you travel.
Yeah, and be with the animals in the nature.
Yeah, so that makes you feel good.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. So what we have understood now, after a lot of research, that one thing doesn't work. So with talk therapy, it's not only that talk therapy will work. I will tell the same thing to my clients: just go, travel, sit on the beach. I will say this. And the people who are like sitting on the beach also need to be told, like, bro, just talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
Figure out what you're actually feeling.
And I'm not against therapy. And
Exactly.
I'm trying to know what it actually is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So I think what was going on for a couple of years is that everyone thought that if I do therapy, I will be fixed.
यही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ
That's the problem.
अब यहाँ पे आप कोई अगर बोल रहा है कि नहीं, it didn't work for me, that's also toxic. Feminism after a while became very toxic.
Yeah.
It became how women are better than men. Versus, nobody's now talking about equality at work.
Okay, yeah, what about that? Like, no one has... recently I spoke to someone where she was the breadwinner of the family, right? Like, parents, brother, everything. She is the breadwinner. Now, the reason why she had the opportunity to be the breadwinner is because all the males in the family failed. It wasn't given to her as...
More power to her, man. More power to her.
Exactly. She wasn't given the opportunity to become a breadwinner because options were available. Oh, you are educated. You know what? You can apply for a job. You can get something at your own pace. No, she was thrown into like the situation where now it's do or die. There's food on the plate or roof over our head.
My mom has been there.
Yeah.
And I feel it.
Yeah. So same breadwinner situation.
She was the breadwinner. And I was the breadwinner for the house as well.
Yeah.
But of course, I couldn't make it all.
Yeah. So that's the situation, right? So is it coming from a place of like did women come into this workspace from a place of need, or were we actually given an opportunity?
I'm the wrong person to
answer I'm just saying, so that is actually the conversation. So I think a lot of women are also coming from that anger, but now we just want like actual equal opportunity.
Yeah, bro.
We just want equal opportunity.
Absolutely.
Like, you know how many times when I've asked someone to come for a podcast, I get rejected because I'm not a cool dude sitting with like my specs and my glasses. Of course, there are not a lot of people who think like that, but I mean, like in Dubai, it's much easier.
I've done more podcasts with females than I've done with men.
I love that.
And I'm not looking at it as a male podcaster or a female podcaster.
Yeah, but in Bombay, it's a little bit different.
What are you saying, What are you saying?
It's cooler right now. The men are like, they're really
no,
like...
I don't believe that. Really?
Yeah, they're really like
Is
enjoying...
that flawed or what? The system? Yeah,
honestly, like how many times I've got a message on the sense like, you know, we need more women in the podcasting space. We need more women in the podcasting space. Because
there are.
Yeah.
All the Mel Robbins. Is that Mel Robbins?
Yeah, Mel Robbins is in the podcast.
Some huge podcasters.
I think I'm like also only talking more like India, Bombay, and the ones that do well. Like I'm a huge fan of the Moment of Silence podcast.
Yeah.
And like I'm so happy that like 2 women are like doing well.
Are you sure? I mean,
yeah,
if
but
this
right
is true,
now,
this is really sad.
It is true really because there's this different swag a man brings in. There's a different like... See the ones in Bombay that are doing well. I don't want to name them right now.
Tell them.
Say. Like you have your beer biceps and you have your Raj Shamani and you have all of that.
But also they're talented enough. Yeah, they've got the guests.
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that there are a lot of men that are owning the podcast space. And again,
but they were the pioneers.
Good for that. Yeah. But there are very few women. Now it's again like I want to get the right kind of guest to come onto the show.
What's that girl's name? Yeah, she's doing very well. She's an actress only.
Riya Kapoor.
Riya Chakrabarti.
Riya Chakrabarti.
She's doing great.
Yeah,
I watch her because also your space is different.
Okay. Now with some people they have also already formed an influence and come.
Right.
I'm
create your own space.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Makes
someone
sense.
Creating her own space. It's very hard for a woman to like enter that field right now. It's not impossible.
No, absolutely.
It's been a little harder.
Absolutely, I understand.
And when I like ask a guest, they would choose.
No way.
Yeah. It's very common. Like now, it's not even surprising. Like.
Wow.
Yeah.
More power to you, man.
Yeah, that's why when you hear like when I approach women and I approach like other guests, it's just like, yeah, man, we need more women in this space. Exactly in this space in India to be a podcaster.
I'm impressed. Well done. बहुत बढ़िया.
Yeah.
Let's start this podcast. Sorry, bro. This was just a discussion. He's like, what?
Like what? What are you saying?
Fuck, these guys are only talking life right now.
No, but I'm actually curious about
Okay.
your travel aspect.
Okay.
What made you be like? What made you want to travel so much, and like be a travel content creator around it?
I'm still not a travel content creator. Yeah,
I just shut up.
I swear. एक काम करते हैं. I'm
Just
gonna
shut
make
up.
this revelation for the very first time on any podcast I have. Okay.
Okay, do it.
First, I'll give you the backstory.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll reveal something for you.
Okay.
I have been traveling since I was a child with my dad. My dad passed away in third standard.
Oh, sorry.
When I was in third standard. No, I'm just, these are just facts. I'm not emotional about
Yeah,
these
yeah,
facts
yeah.
anymore. So don't go to like
That's
any other,
okay.
right? I've been traveling with him since I was a child. We used to go into hotels, and this is where I used to go into the hotels and bargain with the manager saying, Aaj raat ke liye room hai kya? You know, this is much how I will pay you. This is how much I'll pay you. I've been traveling since then, right? That's where I've been wanting to travel. मेरे travel का जुनून जब से है ना तब से है.
Yeah.
And we used to go on road trips. My dad used to love traveling. Before he passed away, he promised an international trip to me, and that was going to be my first No, I've been to Nepal, but he was planning like a Switzerland trip for me in that time.
Those
He
days.
passed away. Our bags were still packed, and that time I don't know what happened. I told myself कि नहीं अब तो मैं travel तो मैं करूँगा.
Yeah.
And I started traveling. Even in India, I used to travel. You know, I used to go on these bike trips. I used to travel to in school, by the way. From my school, I've been to Agra. I've been to Nainital, and I'm talking about second standard, first standard. So school tours hote the. I used to love those school
Educational
tours.
tours.
Educational tours. I used to love those school tours. We used to go to Nainital. We used to go to play, cricket to other cities. We used to explore new places. Agra, I still remember Taj Mahal was my school trip. So my school started, and my father started that travel thing. And whenever I used to travel, I was the photographer.
Oh,
You remember those
interesting.
photos
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
reel
yeah,
wale?
yeah.
So I used to take photos of Pahad. I used to take photos of the sea. I used to take photos of my family. So I used to love documenting stuff. So I'm not a content creator. Now the reason I'm saying that is because the amount of content I have that I've not uploaded. I'm going to show you that right now. So since childhood, I used to love documenting stuff. Even now, I have vlogs that I've not uploaded. I have videos that I've not uploaded from Cuba, from Mexico, I've been to 110 countries.
Wow.
Instagram pe na, I do trends because to keep
You see,
Keep the
Instagram.
Instagram rolling.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a social currency at the end of the day.
What's the space on this phone right now? On this one of the drives?
This is 5 TB.
5 TB. How much is full?
2.59.
2.59.
2.59.
That's one drive. Okay, let me show you. That is Google Drive. I'm going to click on Dropbox. Wait. This is all my travel content.
That's
I'll
insane.
show you my Dropbox. Sorry.
But then, it's full.
It's full. 2 TB, right? Paid subscription again. Now I'm going to show you my OneDrive. And this
Yeah.
is all travel content. 1 TB, how much is full?
Almost the whole thing, 932 or something.
GB. This is all the travel content. If I was a travel content creator, do you know how much gold I'm sitting on right now?
Yeah.
Travel gives me happiness. The videos are a byproduct of it.
So, but then that's the perspective, right? I am
Yeah.
watching your.
You're meeting me for the first time, and you'll
Yeah.
only know more about me when you meet me.
That's true. That's true.
Right? I show people what they want to see. I have a completely different life.
Yeah.
Instagram is, and I've said this so many times. You want to see my Instagram usage? It'll be less than you. I can bet.
I can bet. But I have how many profiles do you have?
One.
Oh, you don't have another one.
Oh, you have a Finsta?
No, I don't have Finsta. I have a personal.
Yeah.
Which started off. And that's my.
Yeah, I work for City, na? So my radio station also has a radio profile.
Which you manage?
I kind of do, right?
huh.
But I do research for that. That's
Huh.
the only time I use Instagram. I upload and I leave. Instagram is my billboard. I don't know what the latest trends are. My wife tells me. So again, content. मेरे पास बहुत content है यार. And this is my documenting stuff. If I die one day, you'll find some documentary about me. Very good. Don't worry. You got some crazy content on it. You got content that I've got arrested in Mexico once. That I'm not putting. You've got great stories. I found bed bugs in Cuba in my hostel this big. So these are the things that
No way.
yeah. Oh, I have so many stories. I live for the stories.
Okay, so
I do travel for the stories.
question. So you said that you started traveling when you were really young. You
Yeah.
went for your education trips, and
Correct.
now also you go to like Cuba and you go to
Yeah.
Mexico and stuff like that.
And this is very like
Yeah,
2015,
yeah,
right?
yeah, fair.
Correct.
Is it safer, easier for men to take this leap? Because now the reason
Yeah.
why I'm asking is when I was younger, where my family could or couldn't afford it was a whole different aspect. There were times where they could, but I was not allowed. I went for one trip in my school to Kerala, and I remember that very clearly.
Beautiful, right?
Because also it was the first time I was allowed to like
Correct.
hang out with my friends.
Correct.
But like my mum was a typical Gulf Desi family. Dad is here, mum is in India, raising two daughters. She is freaked out about our safety. We were never allowed for sleepovers. Forget like educational holidays.
Overprotective parents.
So like because the safety now, like
Correct.
two girls, we didn't have phones those days
Correct.
and all. So it's
Bombay
like yeah, like does
Yes.
being a man like
Yes.
make it easier?
Yes. But have I seen a lot of female, tourists and people staying in hostels with me? Yes.
Yes.
In India, maybe.
Yeah.
But internationally, I've seen equal amount.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. It is definitely easy for men to just get up and go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is also, are you telling me if the girls go out, they will be hit upon or they will be, they have to go through shit? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's unfortunate, but yes.
Yeah. Like the other day, my dad was telling me there's a new taxi app that had come up
Yeah.
in Bombay.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you can do it. I can't, right?
What is
Because
the app?
I don't know, Rapido or something like that.
Yeah,
was
correct.
there.
The bike one.
I don't know.
There is a bike one. Rapido is the bike one, but there are
In
also now
Bombay
female riders on that.
Yeah, so when someone told me about like Rapido or something like that.
It's unfortunate, man.
And I'm just like, yeah, until I don't get 18,000 references
Yeah.
about its safety,
Yeah.
I probably am not going to try it because I'm like, I'm okay taking an Uber XL.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I figure taking a bigger one, the drivers are slightly better, no guarantee, but I'd rather do that.
Unfortunately, it is the truth.
And I'm like, I don't have the privilege to just download it because there is like a 50% discount. I'll
Even
pay 50% more.
Even in Mumbai, are you worried about safety that much?
Where I stay, again, I come from a place of privilege a little bit where
Yeah.
I have a better house, a better, like, your security, everything is close by. But yeah, dude, like the ones who have to take a bus and a train, I don't, like now Mumbai is coming up with those metros and the underground one. I was like, dude, you gotta pay me to go inside the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Above the ground, I'm not taking a train.
It's really sad.
I'm
man.
so scared. Now you better pay me money to go down.
And that's why I love Dubai too.
I fucking love it.
It's because of that. And I don't go home much. Right? I don't go home often. So I'm kind of disconnected with that world.
No,
where,
it's
where you're talking about this taking a bus and feeling that unsafe feeling.
Yeah.
I'm so away from that. Also, I know that I'm privileged because of that.
Yeah, but is it wrong to say that you're privileged?
People will get,
People
at
get
you,
angry?
They'll get at you. I'm not saying, okay, I worked hard to get here and I'm okay being this privileged. I worked really hard.
I worked hard to be privileged.
Yeah.
So
It's
why
like-
can't I enjoy the benefit of it?
Exactly, I will. I mean,
100%. Like when I just saw this reel the other day, I'm sure you've come across it as well, where this woman is saying that for the first time in my life, I know how it feels like to live like a man. Not being catcalled, not being
Yeah.
followed.
Yeah.
No, when a woman's walking, you know that there
Yeah.
are eyes on you.
Yeah.
Not having eyes on you. And she's like, the only time I experienced that was in Dubai.
well done. I want to see. I've not seen this reel. I want to see. Do you
I'm
know who
sure
it
it's
is?
there on my save.
Do you know
I'll
who it
send
is?
to
Call
you.
her for the podcast. I'm serious.
Yeah, I should.
It'll be a great podcast.
I think it was a tourist because she spoke about how when she landed here, she felt. I think it was a tourist.
From India?
Nice one. I'll check. No, but
Get in touch with
honestly, like it's so beautiful to
Yeah.
experience that.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry I can't relate because I'm
that's
sorry
fine.
because it's something which I feel really bad about. I feel
but do you have to relate
Constantly
to
living
feel
that.
empathy?
I do. I mean, I'm saying I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but as a man,
Yeah.
I'm privileged and I feel that as
acknowledge
well.
it, yeah.
I acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And what else? I want to know from you, how else do you,
What, the safety aspect or like
what do you do? What do you do? I want to know from you.
honestly there are so many
As a man, what can I do?
No, but there's so many subconscious traits that are within us that it's taken us years to unpack.
Yeah.
There are taken us traits to like sometimes when I'm walking, I'm not even sure where my hands are, but it's protecting my body. And I don't even know it.
I'll tell you the story, okay?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story. It was my wife and I going to Kerala on Women's Day,
Okay.
right?
Cute.
And this was Women's Day, Air India Express. And we were sitting, I don't know if, this is the first time I'm telling this story on a public podcast, by the way.
Okay.
I was sitting, and it was a genuine half an hour decision.
Okay. Okay.
Toshta, I'm fried right now. Let's go to Kerala. She's like, are you mad? I'm like, the flight leaves in 3.5 hours. The tickets close in 3 hours or 4 hours. Like, right? Like 3 hours prior.
3 hours, yeah.
We booked the tickets. On the spot, I'm picking you up. We're going to Kerala. We don't need a check-in bag. Just take a hand luggage. Done. So we got the last seat next to the toilet. Right? Last seat. Jo bhi available.
An Air India toilet.
Air India toilet, I don't care about that. This conversation is not about the Air
Yeah.
India toilet. This conversation is about now we're going to Kerala. We're sitting on the last seat. All women's flight on Women's Day. The captain, the crew, everybody is a female. Now what happens is, I see this, पीछे की तरफ, जहाँ पे air hostesses खाना prepare करती हैं.
Yeah.
That's right next to the
Yeah,
toilet. Like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know what you call that, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? I see this female air hostess crying. And I'm with my wife. I'm like, babe, you want to ask her if she's okay? Because I don't know if that's my space to ask her. She's like, no, maybe it's too personal. Wait. She goes ahead, serves whatever, beverages and all, comes back and starts crying even louder. Like, listen, I'm going to ask her. I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, there are two guys in the front who are drunk right now. Is on a flight. True story. Listen to this, then what happens? And they are misbehaving with me. I was like, listen, if there's anything I can do, please let me know.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, sir, please. I don't want you to get into trouble. I'll let you know for sure. She goes back, comes back crying again. I didn't even talk to her. I get up. They're sloshed by now. They hold my my collar. I mean, I get into a proper fight
I
with
got
them.
it.
Right? They're like punches exchanged and all. And I'm like, if you trouble her one more time, it's going to be a big problem. And they are like, you don't know who we are. Once you land in Kerala, we'll show you who we are. By now, I'm kind of worried about my wife's safety as well. We've had this full exchange, heated exchange, like, I twisted his hand and he held my collar and all. I'm still fighting for the air hostess. I'm like, I don't know if any passenger has the guts to do it. यहाँ पे 50 लोग जो रियल फेमिनिज्म वाली बात करते हैं ना, इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, कीबोर्ड वॉरियर्स, वो कुछ नहीं करेंगे, चुपचाप बैठे रहेंगे, सब चुपचाप बैठे रहे थे. I come back, I'm like, listen, I don't care what happens when we land. If they trouble you one more time, let me know. By now, they have called some senior official, these guys, the crew.
Air hostess crew.
The air hostesses called someone and paged someone on the air traffic controller. The moment we landed, there were cops waiting outside.
Thank God.
They got arrested.
Thank God.
But I'm still worried about my wife's safety.
Of course.
Can you imagine? I'm like, no matter what happens, we're getting out together, we're not getting out together. Sorry.
That's right.
You're coming out separately. I don't want anybody to, if I'm into trouble, I don't want them to see me with you.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I felt
Yeah.
unsafe.
Yeah.
But this is what I am. I don't need to constantly tell anyone I'm a feminist.
Yeah.
Or now it can be also looked at, you don't need a man to fight for a woman. It's not about that. It's about that situation. I'm not thinking about all these arguments right now. It's about that situation in that moment. What I felt was right.
Yeah. Exactly. That's so. I mean, I don't even want to say like that's so brave. That's so like.
No, it was just.
It's not.
I felt that was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do
Yeah.
when someone's in need. So, very similar story. It was me on the aisle, a woman, and a man, like her husband, on this thing. And then I think somewhere halfway through the flight they exchanged because the woman wanted to sleep, so she went onto the window seat. And then she started complaining to her husband, and I just knew something was wrong. I was like, what happened? And she's like, the guy behind keeps touching me.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is... I mean, like, we're all here. We're all here. Look at the
how to respond to that,
audacity.
yeah.
So, So I obviously like I turned around, I'm like, bro, what's up, like, are you okay? And then I called the crew and I'm like, dude, this is what he's doing. And he's
Well
like,
done.
no, I'm not
Good on
doing.
you.
He's like, no, I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing anything. And because we were landing in Dubai, fad gayi uski.
Of course.
And I started recording it and I'm just like, what did you do? And he was like, no, nothing. He has found, like, so then I was like, now I have a video, and he was like, I'll lose my and he's saying all of this on the video. He's like, I'll lose my job, I'll lose this, I'll lose that. And I was like, listen, this is now yours. You take the video. So I gave it to her. I was like, this is now yours. You decide what you want to do with it, because I don't want to be someone who will drag you into something that you
Yeah,
are not
fair
prepared
enough.
to be
Fair
dragged
enough. Fair
into,
enough.
right?
Agreed.
And then he found them at the baggage counter and fully apologized.
Well done. Good on you.
And then they were on holiday. Like, they were just coming to.
The audacity of a man to do that
And I'm like,
scares me.
you did what you did, and then you've gone there to apologize for what you did, in the sense like, you forgive me because I touched you because I was horny enough.
Creepy.
Like,
That's
I mean,
creepy.
like when you think about it, it's like, where the fuck,
That's
what is
creepy, bro.
happening?
That's creepy.
And
Yes.
the thing is that because they are small towners.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a small town, bro. I don't think so. I'm a small towner.
But you've experienced a lot of life.
I came here straight from Jodhpur.
They were just like, bro, we don't want it. We've come for a holiday. Just let him be. Forgive him. Move
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Life is about like forgiving
Yeah.
people. And I'm just
No.
like,
इतनी बात कर रहा था small town से नहीं. He's also emotionally intelligent enough.
No. The couple who was who got, like, the woman who got touched. I'm saying they were small towners, in the sense when that guy apologized.
Oh, I thought the guy who was.
Who, I don't know. He must be or must be not.
Anyways.
Yeah. But like the couple the girl who he touched, and they were like.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter if they were from small town,
Yeah,
big
so
town,
I was just
gaon.
like, why? Like, for me.
They can't.
Yeah, because then the
Human.
Yeah, but then the inner thing is like, just fight for yourself. I'm fighting for you. Just fight little bit, just fight.
It's okay, yeah. People don't have the guts to do it.
I know.
It's okay.
It
At
comes
least you
from
did.
privilege, again, to fight, because
No, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you this. I've been fighting for my family even when I was not privileged.
No,
it
I'm
comes
saying
from
it's,
just being a human.
No, what I'm trying to say is that if a woman fights for her safety, it comes from
Speak
a sense,
up.
Yeah, to speak up, to feel confident enough to be like, dude, just stop it. Like, to create a scene.
Interesting.
Women are not
Interesting.
really allowed to create a scene. You're taking up space. It's
Interesting.
very hard for a woman to take up space.
Interesting.
Because if a man shouts, where you said, like, I've done it all my life,
Yeah.
I've protected my family, because if a man does it,
Yeah.
he's a man. But if a woman does it, she's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe my thought process is really different.
Yeah, and
my
but that's-
mom,
but
my
that's
mom
good.
was the biggest fighter of all. And my thing is that my mom once, and I'm going back to when I was very young, all these conversations about violence was not happening. My mom once told me, and I come from a very small town जहाँ पे either people beat you up or you fight for yourself.
Yeah,
मेरी माँ ने
surviving.
मुझे बोला था उस टाइम पे पहला थप्पड़ अपना होना चाहिए कभी लड़ाई होगी तो देख लेंगे बाद में. And that's what this is what my thought process is. That's why sometimes I'm like, is that really happening? Like when you told me that people are just saying no to the podcast because people think men are cooler to be on a podcast with, is that really happening? Anyways, fair enough. Let's move on.
Yeah.
You showed us a card.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
Oh, let's go.
What more? The
10
podcast.
सवाल पूछ ले फटाफट से 10 सवाल पूछ ले rapid fire.
Oh my god. You really will answer a rapid fire?
Was I prepared for any conversation right now? We just sat and the thing started rolling.
Okay, will you ever go for therapy? That's fucking not rapid at all. Will you ever go for therapy? Yeah.
100%. But I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Once I'm ready for it.
Yeah. You will be. I mean, I'm not saying you will be, like, in a sense, like, it comes to someone when they want to heal.
Let's show me what a therapy is. And I'm a guy who would research everything before I speak.
Okay.
I've never gone and researched about therapy. I want to experience it without knowing what I'm getting into.
Generally,
Talk to me.
So generally with therapy, how we start is also like, forget this 1 hour, how do you feel?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Genuinely, I don't know.
Alright, so when you say I don't know, like, do you know on which variation it is? If it's a happy, or is it a sad, or is it an angry?
I don't know these emotions. I swear to God.
So,
I'm happy. I don't know what happiness is. Every day I'm happy in the morning from 6 to 10. Then what is sadness? Like, I don't know. What do you mean?
When was
These are
last
just
time you were
buzzwords
sad?
for me.
When was the last time you felt sad?
explain sadness to me.
When was the last time you felt like not yourself?
About an hour ago. Not like before I was talking to someone on the podcast, but that's me also because
Okay. But
I
you don't
am
have
a
to.
guy.
But you don't have to explain it. You don't have to over-explain a emotion. If you felt a moment of sadness,
Okay.
that's okay.
But what is sadness?
So
It is not, I didn't feel myself because I was talking to someone else because as a people pleaser, I was talking to someone as a what he would like to hear.
okay, so
Is that sad? I'm not
no,
sad
wait,
about
that's
that.
interesting. Let's stay on that. So, do you do that though? Do you
I am a
do?
people pleaser, I'm aware of it, but I'm
No, I'm just
working on it.
like, do you do that very often? Like, do you like to people please?
As a part of my job, yes. I have to. If I have to be liked on the radio by 1.6 million people tuning in every day, if I'm talking to a listener, I just have 1 minute to
Yeah.
2 minutes to win that person.
But do you think that has happened because of the job, or were you a people pleaser? That's why you got the job.
No, that has also become worse because of my job. See, everybody's a people pleaser.
Yeah, but let's talk
Everybody.
about you because you.
Okay.
Huh.
I have it gotten worse. Then
Huh.
I've realized it that I was abandoning my needs. Now working towards it.
Yeah. So when you're a people pleaser, what do you tend to do?
I don't know. I'm just like सबको मजा आ रहा है ना मेरे आसपास. मेरा
Does that make you feel good?
yeah, it does. And that's what I'm saying again.
Is that would you?
It does make me feel good.
Would
If
you
everybody
count that?
around me is having a great time, it makes me so happy. I don't know why. Making people laugh, making people, experiencing new things, taking people on trips, everybody's having a good time. That makes me happy. I don't know why. I'm a people's person, maybe.
Would the opposite make you sad?
If people around me are not having a good time,
Because of you. If people are not having a good time because of you.
yeah.
Would make you sad?
Yeah, not sad. See, again, sad. I will tell you something.
Yeah.
I've experienced sadness in my life. Real
Yeah, exactly. When I
sadness.
asked like what was when
I've experienced real sadness in my life. These
Yeah.
things are not that sad.
Yeah.
My degree and the level of sadness is like really traumatic things.
But why does it need to be at if it passes a
Yeah.
level then it's sadness? But
Yeah,
if
because
it's-
that's what I think. That's
yeah,
what I
but
think like.
that's exactly what it is, right? That's why you're not able to identify your emotion because you're comparing it to the worst thing that you've done.
Isn't that okay? Good question. Good point. And
So
my question is this
it's
only.
like someone doesn't need to have fallen off a building or pass away for me to feel sadness because that was the last time I felt sad. That's not what it is. You could feel sad because a cat crossed the road.
But what about
badly.
my definition of sadness? See, I think this is not sad. I think this is just a part of life.
But what does that mean? If you're not able to identify it and again give buzzwords for it, then
Yeah.
maybe that's not identifying your emotion.
My question is this only. I know when I was sad.
Yeah.
For me, this is not sadness. For me, this is just
So you can name it anything.
right.
So like the something that we,
So again, there's a fine line between I really
But then
enjoy
that-
myself when people are enjoying around me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then when I don't be myself, when I abandon my needs, I feel bad, not sad.
Okay. So we can hold
Now
on
there's
to
a
that
difference.
word bad.
But is that sometimes you feel bad about things and sometimes you don't feel sad about things. Is that a valid thing to say? What do
I
you
think-
what do you think of me as a therapist?
I think like you
I'm
have-
broken for sure. Like like I am.
See, I didn't speak to you too much about like childhood and
Ah.
all of that to even know that if you're broken or not. But definitely, as you said, like you want to be the light of the room. You want
Yeah.
everyone to be happy
Yeah.
because of you, and where that is a great thing. And there's in fact that sometimes we need more people to do that in life. As you said, there are times that you can just abandon your own needs, and when you do that over and over and over again, there'll be only one thing that trips you off. One thing. will-
That has happened. And that's when I
And-
realized, okay, not anymore.
Yeah, only one thing will happen, and when you go back, technically we always fight the situation. Why when my manager spoke to me so rudely, it
Yeah.
bothered me.
Yeah.
It's not about that one situation. We try and go and fix situational problems, but it's all about everything that you ignored yourself underlying, all these underlying emotions which you ignored. That is what, that's what brought you to this tipping point, but we forget. We only look at the tipping point. So with therapy, even when you're saying like bad and sad and not myself, and all of these are emotions you've just never really identified to sit down and be like, what is this emotion? Like we've not sat more than even 5 minutes to even give it a name because it might not be sad for you
Yeah.
today. But maybe a year down the line, you might identify the same moment as, oh, I felt sad in that moment. And but that's
Interesting.
only if you have a conversation and you open up and you talk about that. Like that's what you said.
Are we getting too soft in
About?
terms of emotions and the way we deal emotions and the way we take emotions?
Are we getting too soft? I don't think so. I really don't think we're getting soft. I think talking about the fact that you feel sad and bad doesn't make you soft.
Not just this, not just
Generally,
this.
everything.
Yeah, not this.
No, man. I think it's a different kind of power that comes in.
Yeah.
Because what is the opposite of being soft? What would you say?
No, I'm saying take up a joke. For example, if I make a joke,
Yeah.
what are the topics I can make a joke? Are there any topics I can't make a joke about?
Honestly, I think that if you can make a joke about a lot of things. Like that's why India got late and got so much shit, right? Because they came in with the thing of like, bro, this is dark comedy. We are going to be talking about
Point
a lot of
exactly.
shit. So yes, so I have a lot of friends who only talk shit, but I am friends with them knowing that they only talk shit.
Correct.
Right? So
it's your choice.
So the memo has been given.
Your choice.
Yeah.
But are we now getting too soft even after knowing the memo? Are we taking an offense to everything is my question.
I think some people are taking offense to everything. And do you even know like why they say, okay, wait, we have to end, but do you know why they say like no offense? No offense means it's not you, it's me. Also, it's my opinion, but stop taking offense to it. Like,
correct.
Hey, Parikshit, I'm sorry, I can't come for dinner tonight.
Correct.
But it's not because I don't want to spend time with you. It's I can't come for dinner tonight.
And
no
historically,
offense.
You're supposed to say the most offensive thing after saying no offense.
Okay. What the fuck? How did we do that?
It's called mirroring.
Okay.
I mean, I do
fair,
that
fair.
Yeah, fair.
My eyes were closed. I didn't see that.
No. I didn't see you as well doing it. You did it exactly same time. Cut to that. Okay. Legend. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening till the end. And you can follow us on our individual pages. You can like, follow, share, subscribe. And Vedant just put our pages here because they need to follow us. Thank you.